and go.
Hi, I'm Arthur Laatsch. I am grandson of Lewis Merrill, Genevieve Merrill, who inhabited this house when I was a youngster. So I have a lot of memories, a lot of stories.
Can you tell us some?
Tell you some stories. Probably the easiest ones are when I was a little older, and I have some fond remembrances. Their 50th reunion was literally right here in the porch where the bar was, and as a 14-year-old, I was allowed to do the car parking for all the guests, and all of the cars came up through the winding drive. I pulled them into the middle, and we had aisles, and that was just great fun for me driving cars, illegally, of course. And it was just there had to have been a couple hundred people, so it was impressive for me. For their 50th. Yep. So that's one of the more recent stories. I told my sister Mary, who was sort of helping with this tour, that I wouldn't really mention some of them, but as you can see, there's a lot of lawn. And he had a nice John Deere riding mower. It was a little 4-speed. And again, it was around my 13, 14 years of age, and I'd convinced him I could take care of that. So what I did is I took it out on the street, and it was like drag racing, first gear, second gear, third gear. Well, of course I broke it. And so we took the thing down to the John Deere dealer, which was on the other side of the movie theater. And the gentleman looked at it was my Appa, Lou Merrill, I called Appa. And his wife we called Nana. And the gentleman said, well, you know, I've been doing this for 30 years. I've never seen somebody be able to break this. So he looked at me, shook his head, and we got it fixed, and he actually let me drive it again later. So he was a very in-control individual. My sister talked about him always having a cigar in his mouth. That was pretty much true. As soon as you walk into the house, I understand we're going to take a little tour, and the configuration inside is a bit different right now. They've taken the approach of I think the 1890s configuration versus the 1935 configuration. I see pictures up there. That's the house that we were used to. But whenever you'd come in, the entryway, you'd go around the left, and there was this Chase lounge. And there was he in his slippers and a cigar and just a little bottle of blackberry brandy over on the side. But, and not many people know this, but he had like 7/8 of his stomach removed due to ulcers as a younger man. And so it didn't take much to get Appa to have a little personality above and beyond. And he'd always have his cigar. And, I mean, it was just, I couldn't have imagined a better Appa, which is also why when it came time for a name for when our first grandchildren were coming, I was an Appa, or I said, geez, I'd sort of like to be an Appa. I said this to Becky, who's sitting next to you. And again, his wife we knew as Nana. And then my other grandparents down 2 blocks down was Margaret Baseman and August Laatsch. They were Grandpa and Grandma. So it was a nice, easy delineation for young guys. So, and then my mother became a Nana as well. Her husband, Art, he passed away very early at 52 from lung cancer, so my kids never got a chance to meet that Appa. But when I chose Appa, I said in my mind anyway, I said, Becky, I'd like to be an Appa. Well, we were in the bathroom, both in front of our own mirrors, and there was just crickets, nothing for a couple minutes. And then she finally said later, I can't be your mother. Nana. But that's all in the past. She's a Nana too. So they've given us that lineage, and my son has already said he'll be an Appa someday, hopefully. And so that's the passed down on Appa and Nana.